Welcome to our YouTube channel on Success and Women. Women helping women.
Come join us.
See you soon. Welcome to this week's episode of Success and Women. I'm Linda.
I'm Andrea.
And today we're going to be talking about taking care of business. Now, stay tuned to find out what that's all about. But before we start, Andrea's going to give you her tip for the week.
So, ladies, baking soda is good for a lot of things like baking and whatnot. But it's also good if you have trash cans around the house. Sprinkle.
I think we all do.
Yes, we all do. So sprinkle a layer of baking soda on the bottom of your trash can, and that will help absorb a lot of the odors.
That's a great tip. And I actually didn't know that one either. You see, I'm learning all this stuff along with you, but I actually plan to do that because I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And you know what? I know that you put a box of baking soda in your fridge to absorb odors. Why wouldn't I even have thought about the garbage? But I think that's a great thing.
Tip. Yeah.
Anyway, so the reason we're talking about taking care of business is because it's the business of you. Taking care of yourself. Living a clean life. And when we talk about clean, we'll get into the issues of that. But you know, a lot of people suffer from stress that they don't even know that they have a lot of stress in their life. And it's a silent killer. So you'll hear about a lot of people, you know, maybe friends or family or, you know, colleagues that are getting cancer and different stuff. A lot of times, and of course we're not doctors,
No.
but we're not saying that this is 100% of the time, but we also know that stress a lot of the time is the underlying factor of people getting themselves physically sick.
Yes, it's so true. I have, quite a few friends over the years, and when I actually look back and I'd say, wow, yes, they did have a lot of stress, either financially, marital, in their marriage or with their children. And if you are the type to carry that stress with you, not knowing how to relieve some of it, it festers in you, and you become unhappy, miserable, and that can cause all kinds of inner conflict in your body. And I find that it brings on a lot of different things,
Illnesses.
such as cancer's number one,
But
anxiety and depression another.
Right, and it's always interesting because it's like anything. We always want to look in the rear view mirror to see, what happened, what went wrong. And then when you notice that a lot of people did have a lot of stress and they become sick, you put two and two together. And again, we're not doctors. We're not saying that was the cause.
No.
But coincidentally, it happens. And
we should learn.
Exactly. So one of the things, though, and this is one of the things that Andrea and we talk about this all the time, about the fact that at our age, we are quite healthy. And why? And even if you look at your family members, Andrea, and I look at my own family, for the most part, in the family that I'm close to, we're pretty good in the sense of trying to have a clean life, in the sense of trying to minimize how much chemicals that you're using or that's in your surrounding environment. And,
Exactly.
When Andrea gives her tips on, making, instead of buying aerosol air fresheners, making your own with an essential oil, how more natural can you get?
Mm-hmm.
But it's safer for you.
Safer.
For your family,
Yes.
for your pets if you have any.
Right.
And
We're using so many products today that we have no idea how bad they are for us, like the dryer sheets, bleach, all of the, like, Tide, the toothpaste, the water that we brush our teeth with. We have to look around and see where can we clean up our what we're putting in our bodies or in the air that we breathe. And we can't get rid of it all. It's there. And we can just try and do our best to live a clean life and for our family. Like I said, I've been using Melaleuca since 2000.
And again, Melaleuca, if you're paying attention, we're doing this because it is a natural product and Andrea loves to promote it. So
yes.
just keep us in mind there, because we don't get paid from anybody
right.
when we tell you about products, but it happens to be products that we are proud to use.
Yes, I am proud to use, and my family, they are proud to use. They can't go without. Like, I'm just telling you, walk down the aisle in the grocery store where they keep all the cleaners, the Tide, the softeners, and you will
laundry soap. She's talking about laundry soap.
You start sneezing. You start getting itchy eyes. The perfume coming out of there is unbelievable. That is not good for you. That's not good for you to wear on your clothes, to put on your skin. Try to find things that are more natural.
You know, I have an acquaintance, and he's about 78 right now, but he was diagnosed with cancer a few years ago. And, you know, he has gone through lots of stress in his life. He's had major things going on that would cause a lot of stress. And again, coincidentally or not, but he did end up getting diagnosed with cancer. But the good news is, recently I saw him, and because he tries to live a very healthy and clean life, he does look at labels on products. He tries to eat and keep his body around and in with clean products. And it was funny because we were talking and he said to me, "So what about you, Linda?" And I'm like, "Listen, you don't even want to go shopping with me because I take forever because I read every label, and I've been doing that for many, many years." When I discovered how many bad things were in our foods. And I also wondered why foods didn't taste the same as they did when we were growing up.
Yes,
and
that is so true.
Even recently, Andrea and I were talking about just the fact of a potato. There are so many potatoes. When we grew up, our parents bought a bag of potatoes. We made either baked potatoes, mashed potatoes, roasted potatoes, you name it, scallop potatoes. We made everything with
From
potato,
the one potato.
From one type of potato. Now, I don't even know what that one type of potato is because I went to the grocery store and I remember going, wait a minute, that's a mashing potato? That's a
boiling potato.
Boiling potato.
One is a baking potato.
Baking potato. But there were so many different potatoes. I'm like, I don't know what to buy. I literally didn't know what kind of potato to buy that just can do anything and everything that I used to be able to do. I didn't know they had all these labels because I hadn't been paying attention to that. And then all of a sudden, I think I was buying it because I wanted to make something for a family event. And that's the only reason I would need a bag of potatoes. And then all of a sudden, I'm faced with all these decisions on what kind of a potato to make what I needed.
Right.
And you said, because on mashed potatoes, you don't even like those potatoes that they name it because you said they're watery.
They're very watery. And it's funny you said that because some friends of mine, I went to their place to learn how to make pierogies.
Oh, yeah.
And she told me to bring a certain type of potato. And I brought it, but when we cooked them up and mashed them, they were way too wet to use for what we needed. And because when I was buying them, I thought, I don't know why I just don't buy the old brown bag. Remember those paper bags?
Yeah, but I don't see those anymore.
They're not on the top, like they're all on the bottom, right? The old-fashioned one. So I went back to the store. We started from scratch, and I bought those potatoes, and they worked wonderful. So I just always buy those potatoes. Now
I'll have to look for them because I recently bought potatoes and at Publix.
Well, they're the dirty old brown ones.
But these are not, and that was the thing.
I know. Don't buy those. Don't buy those in the plastic bags.
I mean, they have such a small skin on them. When I Googled, because I wanted to see if I could add something to make mashed potatoes taste a little better. And they said, you don't even have to, because people ask questions on those sites. And they said, no, you don't even have to peel them if they're the thin ones, not the ones that you're talking about. So, I mean, I want to make scallop potatoes, and I'm going to use those potatoes that I bought because I have a lot left, but I'm not even going to skin them. But that's the thing, I could never find are the old ones that we used to actually have to peel, really wash and peel.
Yeah, that's what I buy now. Well, I have to say though, I have found a favorite potato, and it's from our hometown.
Oh,
It's
wow.
from Mazilda, and they are the probably
Google that, because
Yes.
that's a small dot in a map.
Mazilda, Ontario, and
Yeah.
they have the best potatoes I have had in a very long time. I actually, when my sisters come to visit, I always say, bring me a bag of those potatoes. I love them. They're so good.
And you know, it's funny because maybe that's where we got most of them when we were growing up,
Yeah.
because they were locally grown.
Yes.
But I have to tell you, I went to a wedding in Prince Edward Island in Canada. And at the wedding, because it's Prince Edward Island, and we get a lot of potatoes from Prince Edward Island,
Yes.
at the wedding, they had a lot of these potatoes, and they were boiled potatoes, okay? But they had these boiled potatoes on our plates, and I'm thinking, there's no way I'm ever going to eat all these potatoes, along with what was the rest of the meal. They were so good. They were so fresh from the ground
Right.
in Prince Edward
It
Island
makes a difference.
that I ended up eating them all. And I'm not a huge eater to begin with, but
They were
that was a
so
lot of
good.
potatoes that
Yeah.
were. I think I love some of the others' food, like the meat, because the potato was so good.
Exactly.
But that's the kind of clean food.
You taste the difference.
You do taste the difference.
Like
And
if you go in the blueberries now in the grocery store, they're horrible. No taste, they're huge.
You gotta
I don't know
find
where they're
wild.
from.
You
You
gotta
gotta get wild
And
blueberries.
actually, I've noticed, Andrea, even down in Florida, if you find wild blueberries, if you look, a lot of them come from Canada.
Of course they do.
Yeah, 'cause-
and especially our area.
Yeah.
Sudbury.
They were
have
big.
really nice blueberries. Again, I get my sisters to bring them when they come during blueberry season. Freeze them, and I have them to make
Oh.
whatever I want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I can't buy the farm raised blueberries. First of all, they don't taste like blueberries. They just look perfect.
Yes.
You know, they're perfect.
Yeah.
But if you can buy the wild blueberries, there's nothing like
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And I know that your mom used to make the best blueberry pies.
Oh.
But the whole idea is finding products
Yes.
that have little or no chemicals in
Yes.
them. It will make a difference because it's preventative. You
Yes.
don't want to have to do things after the fact.
Yes.
Anyway, when I
that's
was
the
telling
thing,
you,
Linda. Preventative. That's what we're kind of aiming at.
yes. Well, this,
Preventative ways to keep your body healthy and strong.
So this gentleman that I told you that ended up getting cancer,
Mm-hmm.
but he had a lot of stress in his life, but he said, the reason I think I'm still alive is because of the way I live.
Live.
Be-
Good.
no, live. He's
Live.
alive.
Yeah. Like
And
like
he
he's
looked
been
good.
living a good, clean
Healthy.
life.
Yes,
You know, that's another thing. Because if you do get sick, then they start putting you on drugs.
exactly.
Once you go down that road, once you start taking medication, it's hard. You start getting constipation. You start getting headaches, stomach
you
issues.
can
you
get a
know?
lot with, but if you don't need
Yes.
to go down that path in the first place, because you do live a healthy life.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, when we talk about being preventative, sometimes people will say, like, it's like drinking green tea. Okay, green tea I've been drinking for probably 30 years. And when I'm at work, like in an office, when I'm in an office, I drink green tea all day long. So I'll drink between 3 and 5 cups on average every day, but I love the taste.
You like it.
Okay, so I don't know if it's ever done anything, but how do I know it hasn't done something?
Exactly.
Because
Well,
they talk about the health
Yeah.
benefits, but you see, people want instant gratification in whatever their issue is.
Yeah.
It's like why they want to take diet pills
Right.
instead of just living a more balanced, healthy life.
Right.
Because that's long. That's, the slow process.
Weight Watchers is a long process, but
But it's a lifetime
it's
change.
a lifetime, and it's based on food
Yeah.
that you would eat
Normal food.
normally. It just teaches you combinations and portion sizes and to eat more naturally.
So even, believe it or not, bread can be a bad thing. And I'm not talking about from a point of carbs or no carbs. I'm just
No.
talking about if you eat bread.
Right.
But a lot of breads, just like yogurts and other foods that you may think is relatively healthy, you're going to see it, and ketchup, that's a big thing also with ketchup. and a lot of it has this high fructose.
Yes.
Now you might hear fructose, fructose, whatever it is,
Yeah.
toast.
Mhm.
That's
Very bad for the body.
it's a chemical. It's not a real ingredient like that you would get, like cinnamon. It's not like that.
No.
I mean, cinnamon is healthy. If you see that in your food, it's like, oh, that's an extra health benefit you're
Yeah.
getting, and you didn't even realize it.
Right.
But that high fructose stuff that's in your food, stop buying it.
Yeah.
Because you're doing damage to the inside of your body and you don't realize it because it's slow growing in the sense of the damage it's doing.
Yeah.
And so you want to make sure it says no high fructose. And a
Yeah.
lot of stuff will now do that. So if it doesn't say it on the front of the label pretty big, then that means it could be there. If you see it in the ingredients, look for another brand.
Right.
Because there's always going to be a brand that's going to take that stuff away.
Take it
Now,
out.
they might have something else. You got to be aware of that as well.
I know. Anything you buy in a package nowadays or a can has things in there you don't understand. And they say if you can't pronounce it, don't buy it. But it is very
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
So just do the best you can.
Yes.
And, cook as clean as you can, eat as clean as you can.
And you know what?
And-
when you have to mix
And
in
you'll
with
feel
some of
good.
that,
Yeah.
it is, but it's going to be a smaller
Yeah.
proportion,
Yeah.
so that you're getting more healthier, cleaner stuff
Yeah, exactly.
than the other stuff.
Yeah.
But whether it's your cleaning products, your food, I'll say in room deodorizers, whatever, read the labels.
Read the label.
And if there's a way for you to find a natural way to do it, then do that.
And Google has everything.
Yes.
Google's your friend. Just Google
And
it.
so are we. So are we.
Yeah.
We'll always try to give you those tips that will help you.
Good
ladies.
information because if you want to live clean, healthy, you can do it.
Yeah, because if you've got an aspiration like we do to live beyond 100, but not just live beyond 100, but be healthy beyond 100,
Right.
you've got to start now.
You do
Whatever
have to start
age,
now.
you have to.
It's like your skin. You
Yes.
know, a lot of
Yes.
the girls in their 20s or 30s think, oh, I don't have to do anything. My skin is perfect. Oh, yes, it is right now. But you're exposing it every day to all of the elements of your surroundings. And if you don't start removing it now and, exfoliating your skin and keeping it moist, eventually that's going to catch up. And then when you're in your 50s and you're thinking, oh, what happened? Then you might be able to stop it from getting any further at that
Right.
stage, but you're not going back to your
Okay.
youthful.
So
you
that
know?
so that brings me up to a funny story, because I have this friend and she's full of wrinkles in her face. She's got a really good, solid body. She's very healthy, but her face is full of wrinkles. But that's because she spends every summer and throughout the winter up until recently, she
In the
was
sun.
traveling to the south, going in the sun and baking herself constantly. Love that glow, that tan, right?
Oh, no.
So then she's looking for the miracle moisturizer
That's gonna
that
take
can
it
get
up.
rid of the wrinkles.
Oh, yeah, that's not happening.
And that's exactly what I said. No, that's not happening. And I said, if you really felt that strong, you would have been covering your face, because I discovered
That's
when I was
right.
in my mid-30s that the sun in small doses is fine, but no more baking, especially with the baby oil like we used to
Oh,
do,
right.
because we wanted to be really brown and
Yeah.
tanned.
Yeah.
It looked so gorgeous.
In
But-
your 20s.
in your 20s. But you find out when you hear all this information, what's going to happen later. And then I thought, okay, maybe I won't have that natural, beautiful tan that all these girls are having. But I know when I'm older, my skin's going to be much better.
Exactly.
And I'm thanking myself now for having the fortitude to say, Linda, no more.
Right.
Small doses is fine because it's healthy and you need your
Yes.
vitamin D.
Yes.
But no more baking in the sun, especially with the
Exactly.
baby oil.
Exactly.
And I gave that up in my mid-30s. And that was bad enough because you did a lot of damage, you know what I mean, up until that point. But like today is your fresh start. No
Yes.
matter what, you got to move on from today on.
Right.
And stop thinking about what you did in the past,
Yes.
but make the improvements now
Make
because it can
improvements.
still be better.
And now
for the
they
rest
have
of your
so
life.
many products out there for, I have a tinted moisturizer that I have, and it has SPF on it. And it's also from my company, Beauty Counter, which are chemical-free makeup and skincare. And it just gives you that little bit of tint and glow. I mix it with my moisturizer, and I absolutely love it. So I don't need to go out in the sun and bake, and I never do, because I am afraid of, getting more wrinkles.
Yeah.
We have enough as it is.
I was going to say,
and we
get
didn't
that.
know even when we were younger for our generation.
Yeah.
But the generation now, they know the dangers of the sun and exposure to all different things. So, the time
They
is
will
now.
pay the price if
the
they
time
don't
is now
change.
to look after your skin.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And again, it doesn't matter what your age is. So
That's
my
right.
friend is using all these moisturizers, but even with all that, do you think that she's not baking in the sun?
Oh, my
no.
goodness.
She loves her tan.
I'm surprised she doesn't have skin cancer.
And that was a possibility, right?
Yeah.
She's very fortunate that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But really, she keeps talking about, and trying new products constantly that say, to help with the wrinkles. And I'm like, it's impossible.
To erase what's already there.
Because it's too, the dents of wrinkles are too much. She'd have to have a major facelift.
Yeah, exactly. That's what.
And she doesn't want to do that.
Thing that will help is
Yeah.
to have a surgical
And
something.
even with that, I
surgically.
think that in a
There's
lot of
probably
ways,
not even enough Botox to help
well,
there.
no, but I think that you get to a point, there's just too many wrinkles if you've let yourself go to that degree. Because like I said, she's in her late 70s.
Oh.
And for her to, be that old and baking every year.
What do you mean that old?
Late
Linda.
70s? You're in the sun, Andrea, every day for the last 70 years. Don't tell me that you're not going to have a lot of wrinkles.
She's old at 70.
No.
Nothing about the sun.
No. She's in her late 70s.
Oh, late 70s.
No, like
okay.
I said, late 70s. But
She's maturing.
yeah, but it's the 70 years of putting, and I say
No, I know.
70 years because when she was a little kid, people are just in the normal, playing kind of thing. But as she was getting older, she didn't want to change, even knowing that the sun was not,
damaging her
yes,
skin.
that was damaging her
Yeah.
skin. She said, I'd rather have the tan. But
Oh.
she's paying the price now. And she's still tanning.
I don't find it attractive myself when
That's why I was going to say, I don't even tint.
women that get so tan that they change their whole look. I don't like the look.
Oh, and that reminds me of a funny story that was on Jerry Seinfeld. There was an episode where George went out with this girl, and she had what you would consider a major overall tan. And he goes, oh, were you away in the South? She goes, no. And he's looking at, because that she's got the tan from somewhere. So could be a tanning bed. I don't know. But she was saying, no. And it was like he's looking at her all the time. It's like, it's impossible. She's got a major tan. Okay? But she kept saying, no, she hadn't been away. No, she doesn't go to tanning beds. Whatever it was. But it was just one of the funniest episodes because when you say you don't find that attractive, I don't think he was finding it attractive either. But he was just wondering how she got that dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she said she didn't go away and anyway.
Well, it's like the people that say, oh, I haven't had any surgery.
Yeah, no surgery, no Botox.
Like the movie with, what was it, First Wives Club?
Oh, yeah.
With Bette Midler and Goldie
Goldie
Hawn.
Hawn.
And she came with the big lips. And, no, I don't do any work.
Yeah.
They're so hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyways, ladies,
Yeah.
it's all
just
about taking care of
Your
yourself,
business, yeah.
living clean,
Yeah.
and help you have a more healthy, successful life.
Yeah, because if you're going to be doing stuff, you want to live a long time.
Exactly.
Because life isn't over till it's over.
Till it's over. Exactly.
Anyway, so that's our episode for this week. We hope you tune in next week. I'm Linda.
I'm Andrea.
But we hope you
Like
share
and subscribe.
and don't forget about TikTok.
TikTok. See you there.